These days, our energy can come from various sources, such as fossil fuels or cleaner sources like solar and wind or other renewables. But where did the history of energy first begin? In some ways, we've come full circle, as some of the first energy sources were the sun and the wind, and here we are again looking to those, albeit in more technologically advanced ways. The first source of energy was the sun, as it provided heat and light during the day. However, in the US, wood was the first real source of energy consumption in 1775 until the use of coal came about in the 1850s. This figure shows a summary of the history of energy consumption since 1775, considering petroleum, hydroelectric power, coal, wood, natural gas. The Industrial Revolution kick-started our use of electrical power. Most people credit Benjamin Franklin with discovering electricity in 1752, which he did by realizing that the sparks emitted from lightning strikes could generate power. In 1882, Thomas Edison constructed Pearl Street Station, the first purpose-built power station. Built in New York City, this station provided the first electric light to Wall Street financiers and the New York Times. The station burned down in 1890 but was the model for stations that began popping up around the city. In the late 19th century, hydropower was used as an electricity source. In 1882, the same year, Edison's power station, the world's first hydroelectric plant, went online in Appleton, Wisconsin. The first electric transmission line in the U.S. was constructed in 1889, between the generating station at Willamette Falls in Oregon City, Oregon, and downtown Portland, Oregon. The line transmitted electricity over a 13-mile span, which is very small in comparison to today's standards, but was considered a major technological breakthrough at the time. Horse-drawn carriages were used for transportation until the horseless carriage was created in the early 1800s, which only those wealthy enough could afford. That is until the early 1900s when Henry Ford began mass production of the gas-powered Model T, which allowed the everyday person to purchase a vehicle. As time went on, cars in the U.S. grew larger and heavier, and by 1970, the average car was getting 13.5 miles per gallon back then, which really isn't that long ago. Gas cost less than 25 cents. Today, people are not only driving gas-fueled vehicles but electric ones as well. And, if that wasn't enough, the U.S. has a new federal requirement that by 2026, all light-duty vehicles sold in the U.S. will need to average 49 miles per gallon. That's 35.5 miles per gallon more than vehicles just 50 years ago. The U.S., along with Russia, led the way in the oil industry throughout the 19th and 20th centuries. As electricity was introduced in 1882, natural gas was no longer needed to light homes, causing the industry to shift to heating and cooking. Electricity generation from commercial nuclear power plants in the United States began in 1958. At the end of 2021, the United States had 93 operating commercial nuclear reactors at 55 nuclear power plants in 28 states. The average age of these nuclear reactors is about 40 years old. The oldest operating reactor, 9 Mile Point Unit 1 in New York, began commercial operation in December 1969. The newest reactor to enter service, Watts Bar Unit 2, came online in 2016. 2019 heralded a milestone when, after years of relying on coal for energy, more energy was generated from zero-carbon sources than fossil fuels for the first time in the U.S. By using renewables to power our energy, we're well on our way to meeting our 2050 U.S. target for net zero total emissions.